Yay! Welcome back. That's right. This is HomeTalk USA, streaming live right here at HomeTalkUSA.com. Hey, I got some exciting news. If you were listening to the show last week, we had that big, powerful station, WBTN, 1370 AM in Bennington, Vermont. Well, I'm excited to tell you that they added the 96.5 FM station to the lineup. So their FM and AM talk is now carrying the very best in home improvement information and education. All right. I'm excited to talk to my next guest, to be honest with you. My next guest, his name is Greg Owens. He owns Sherrill Manufacturing. And what makes his company very special is that they focus on made in America technology. And we have a lot of future inventors. And if you listen to the Invent America show at the top of the hour with my co-host, Rita Crompton, kind of giving you the blueprint of how to get your product to market. But obviously, you have to have a manufacturer that's going to manufacture it. So he is a very special company that focus on U.S. made products. And I want to talk to him right now. We're going to have some very special news that we're going to, you're going to have to tune next week on Greg Owens, but we're not going to let the cat out the bag right now. But we got a breaking news that's happening. So we're excited. But Greg is on the line right now. Hey, my buddy, my new friend, Greg Owens with Sherrill Manufacturing. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, Michael?
All right. So, man, a lot going on. As a matter of fact, on the next hour, you're going to be talking with us on the Invent America show. You are our product expert, one of our product experts, but we do welcome our listeners to tune into that. It's going to be at the last segment of the next hour. So tell us a little bit about your history, a little bit about your background, and why are you focusing on made in America products, made in the USA?
Well, again, thank you for having me on the show today. My name is Greg Owens. I'm co-founder and CEO of Sherrill Manufacturing. Our brand is Liberty Tabletop, and we're the only manufacturers of flatware left in the United States. And in 2005, Matt Roberts, my partner, and I, we both worked for Oneida Limited. Oneida Limited had decided to shut their factory down in Sherrill. It was the largest factory in the world, employing over 2,300 people. And the reason they did it is because with China coming on stream, they realized that they could land a box of flatware, FOB Long Beach, California, cheaper than they could buy the raw material to make it with from China. And that was sort of a game changer for them. They were losing business because of margins. And Matt and I, this town that we live in, Sherrill, which is the name of our company, was literally built by the Oneida company for the employees. It was the largest employer in town by far. Everybody who lives in that town either works at Oneida Limited or knows somebody who's worked there. And it was just a tragedy to see it be scuttled because of this. So we came in there with an offer, and they accepted it, and we bought the factory. Wow. All of the equipment. We didn't buy the IP. We didn't buy the name. We didn't buy the molds. So everything that we sell as Liberty Tabletop was designed by our own folks, all the patterns. And we just used the automated equipment to keep product coming to market.
Well, I need to tell you, to be honest with you, if you go back to my old archives, and I know my producer, John Iannuzzi, can tell you in our early years on the Business Talk Lifestyle Network, I want to say 25 years ago, a long time ago, that when I was at the trade shows, and I noticed that the Chinese were starting to invade the trade shows and then bring in their cameras, and they were taking pictures of the booths. And I need to tell you, I went on a rampage for a whole year, talking to CEOs, getting CEOs of American on my show. Some of them denied coming on, some would not come on because I really wanted to find out, is it strictly profit motive that it's happening here? Because, um, I'm not playing politics on this show, but a lot of this is focused on the blame to President Bill Clinton when he went into NAFTA, when he opened up the Chinese to, the world markets. I saw it right then and there that it was going to be a big problem. And as we start losing American manufacturing to China, here's China realistically a broke country, and due to our way of sending them, our manufacturing business is now going to probably by the end of next year, if somebody don't do anything, it's going to become the number one economic power in the world. And there's a lot going on there. But 25 years ago, I stood on this show, and I took lost a lot of sponsors. I took a lot of heat because I tried to educate and let the audience understand the devastation that when a American manufacturing closes. And I did a comparison of the quality of life that was happening with we're talking school system, infrastructure. A lot of people said, King, you should just have a political show. Forget about home improvements. But I love, I'm a contractor. That's all I am. But at the end of the day, I also have the availability of getting guys like you on, pick your brain to educate the American consumer on why it's so important. And I'm gonna finish with something else. And I know I'm sounding like I'm tuning my own horn here, but I want to also tell you a test that I did, and I proved it on air about 20 years ago. And what I did was, I actually believe in the American consumer that if they were giving a reason to buy an American product, that they will buy it. But you have to give them a reason to. And I'm going to prove my point. I had my buddy over that owned the Ace hardware store. And I asked him, what is the number one selling item in your hardware store? And he actually said tape measures. I said, okay, let's start with a tape measure. So I said, here's what I want you to do is I want you to put two tape measures side by side. I want you to do the American tape measure that you're asking. I think it was Craftman's at the time, that was made here in the U.S. by Sears. And the tape measure was, $32. I mean, and next to it was a $9, $10 tape measure. So we sat down there and I filmed it and everything. And I do welcome my audience to go online and see it. Without me saying anything or putting something up there, nobody picked up the U.S. made one. But then what I did was I had cue cards made. If you purchase this tape measure, and I put 5 bullet points, and you know what it actually came? It was 50-50. We went from 0 purchases on this tape measure to 5 out of 10. So I believed in the American consumer, but the problem with the American manufacturer, we give them no reason to buy American. Now, I know I'm on your time here, but I just had to bring that out because it was so important 20 years ago, and it's very important today.
Well, Michael, I'm very familiar with the topic. We've been all about Made in America for going on 20 years. That's our business. It's our brand. And, being the only ones manufacturing flatware, we sort of own that market, and it's becoming more and more in vogue. When we first started the company in 2005, everybody said, Made in America, just move on, Greg. You're thinking in the past. Everybody's going overseas. It's a lost cause. Well, our business has grown exponentially since then. And if you look on things like Google Trends, where you can type in a keyword like Made in USA or Made in America, starting with the Great Recession back a couple of years ago, and then again during the pandemic, the interest in Made in America has shot up to 20-year highs. So we feel we're in a pretty good place. As far as the politics goes, it's funny. This is the one issue that you can go down to Washington, D.C., and it seems to be that people on both sides of the aisle are in agreement. So it's sort of refreshing. I'm a policy guy, and I don't like the shenanigans of the politics, but we're making a lot of progress down there in lobbying for Made in America issues, and it's starting to bear fruit.
Well, I hope I can go with you, and we're going to open up a lot of doors because I tell you what, they don't want the Cajun man down there. And I got two senators down here, and one of them is getting very famous, John Kennedy. When you watch him on Fox, man, everybody loves John Kennedy because he's got so much common sense. You just got to have common sense, But it's a great time, and I'm excited. But we're going to have a great announcement next week that concerns you. But hey, man, we're going to give them a reason to buy American. We're going to give them a reason. We're not going to just say go buy American. We're gonna tout the reasons and say if you purchase this product, these are the benefits of your community, and your quality of life is just going to explode. Good paid wages, good school system, good police protection. Where do I stop? But hey, we're gonna have to take a short break. Where we're talking to our good buddy, Mr. Greg Owens with Sherrill Manufacturing, right here on Home Talk USA. I'll be right back. Yay!
And now, back to the #1 home improvement radio with the man from the Bayou Land, your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King.
Hey, welcome back to Home Talk USA. If you just joined us, we're talking to Greg Owens. He's with Sherrill Manufacturing, but we're talking about, his made in the USA product. If you just joined us, he is got the only flatware now that's made in the U.S., and I want to find out about that. And Greg, you're really becoming very competitive with providing American flatware, right?
When we first started our company, we were actually trying to produce and sell 209 Limited, which was a brand, who would then in turn sell our product, which is a higher end version of flatware, into mainstream retail. Our cost, we realized, was well above the price that the retail stores were buying it from through the Chinese outlets. And there's a lot of reasons for that. They subsidize their steel, which is how they can land it cheaper than we can buy the steel with, et cetera, et cetera. So when that business relationship with Oneida sort of fell apart and we had to strike out on our own, we knew we had to do something different. And that was, you think back to 2005, 2006, that's when Jeff Bezos stopped selling books out of his storefront and Amazon started taking off. So we grabbed on to the online business, and we sell direct, and we take about 80% of the retail markup out of that and can supply product at a competitive price. And we call it factory to table.
Well, and I love your brand. I mean, it's all about branding. Let's face it. I mean, it's Sherrill Manufacturing, but we don't know who Sherrill Manufacturing is. But I tell you, they're going to know who Liberty Tabletops is before we finish with this. Because Liberty, your first word, Liberty, basically explains it right there.
It really does. And
it's freedom. It's freedom. The word just says everything right there,
Yeah, it's we're selling patriotism, and instead of just exploiting it, as there's companies that sell American flags and they make them in China. We're true to our colors, and we employ Americans, and we're doing what we're doing. We're very proud of it. I think we do it for all the right reasons, and I think our customers pick up on that, and that's why we have so much repeat business. And people are just spreading the word, and we're growing.
Well, what I'm going to ask you to do is go down to your local radio station, find out your talk station in your community, and you need to walk in through that door, and you need to introduce who you are, and tell them there's a radio show you got to get in that community. And when you do that, I'm hopping that big bird, and I'm coming over there, and we're gonna open up that whole area, and that's the only favor I ask you to do. Because there's no way your community need to be carrying this show. And if they listen to what we do here, education, information, we're not an infomercial. You're not paid to be on this show. We're just trying to do the right thing to educate America on the features and benefits of buying America. And that's what it all boils down to. And I tell you, when I visit towns in Ohio and Louisiana and Florida that really carries this show, and have manufacturing, specifically some stations we have in Pennsylvania. Believe it or not, Illinois, one of the most liberal places they have, but they do have American manufacturers. They're kind of trapped. But at the end of the day, when I get over there, the quality of that community, like I'm going to give you an example, Arlington, Illinois, which is about 20 miles west of Chicago. You're looking at Chicago where crime is horrible. And, but then you go to Arlington in this big, beautiful city where they don't put up with anything. Now, they're conservative out there, but at the end of the day, crime is zero. They don't tolerate anything. Educational system, because there is a nut and bolt company that manufactures there. Well, it changes the whole quality of your life. So if you want to change your quality of your life and you want to get out of poverty and you want to, hey, support American manufacturers, they're there. I assure you they're there. Like right now in Louisiana, we probably got 7, 8 manufacturers that manufacture things. But at the end of the day, hey, they all leave in New Orleans, though. There's no manufacturers left in New Orleans. They left, but they're in Louisiana. Yes, so I'm just trying to make a point here, and I hope you agree with me.
Well, yeah, I do agree with you. And as we move through this process that they're calling decoupling with China, and we're trying to bring all of these jobs back to the United States, there are quite a few challenges out there. One of them is we've sort of lost a lot of our journeyman trades folks. Who's going to make the tools? Who's going to fix the machines? That type thing. So we're working very hard to build our staff back up to snuff as we grow and hire people, which is really a challenge these days. And my participation down in Washington is being sort of the voice, boots on the ground kind of guy that takes the trade lawyers and all those folks and brings them back down to earth and drives some common sense into the process of bringing jobs back to the United States, which we desperately need to do.
Are you planning on getting other products? I mean, Liberty Tabletop, so, not just your flatware, but other products?
Yes, we sell our flatware, and it occurred to us that since we're doing a decent job of getting the word out there about American-made flatware, why not pick up other products for your tabletop and kitchen and sell those products to the same customers? And it's about 10-15% of our business, but we have cookware, dinnerware, glassware. We even have a can opener made in the United States, if you can believe it.
Well, I don't know if the inventor lady told you, but I'm not just known as the Cajun contractor. I'm also known as Chef Cajun Mike. I don't know if you knew, I'm a well-renowned Cajun chef, professionally trained. Did you know that?
I can't wait to talk to you about this because cooking is one of my passions.
Well, I tell you what, you got the very best. For those out there, it's CajunMike.com. So visit my website. So you might be taking me along more than what you think you're taking me along. But I want to take you up on that. Try to get in your local market, and let's get on that local radio station, and let's just blow that whole area. Especially like you said, we now have Bennington, Vermont, WBTN 1370. And now, of course, the ventilator don't know. We just signed their FM station, the big 96.5 FM power station. So, which goes all the way into New York City. I'm excited, man. I tell you. Hey, Donald Trump, if you listen to me, we're coming to New York City. All right. So that's a little joke there. But give us that website. How can we learn more about you, my friend?
You can learn more. LibertyTabletop.com, or you can just type in flatware or silverware made in the USA and you'll find us.
All right, my friend. Also, got to take a short break. Don't forget, you will be a guest on the Invent America show at the last segment of the show. It's about 10 minutes to the hour. So I want to let my audience know that. So don't go nowhere, okay? All right, that about does it for another edition of Home Talk USA. Don't forget, the Invent America show is coming up. Me and the old Cajun woman, I'm gonna call her my Cajun woman now. We're gonna have to convert over there. The inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. So stay tuned to that show. I'm the Cajun man. Yay!
Hello and welcome back to Home Talk USA.